Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Carolyne Stolzenfels joining us here today live on the podcast and on the Zoomcast. She's here to talk more about the work she does and, of course, maybe even coach me a little bit. The name of the company, Wildfire what?
Dreams. Wildfire Dreams.
Oh, well, we are excited to have you back. And for our new timers, would you mind just sharing a little bit about what it is that you do specifically?
Yeah, so I am a unique type of coach where I partner with my horses to help heal people's broken hearts. I help inspire and empower mainly women and young children, teens, to step away from any baggage that they might be hanging on to and move forward in a life of joy and ease.
Beautiful. How do we find you?
So the best place to find me is on my website. It's www.wildfiredreams.com. I'm also very active on social media, Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of Twitter, and you can even find me on Indeed.
Beautiful. We're excited to have you here. And you hail from Michigan?
Michigan, yeah, way up north in Charlevoix, Michigan. That's where we have our little sweet farm. However, I coach people from all over the United States. So just like you and I are on this Zoom today, it's a very helpful way for people to get the help they need and the progress that they want to enjoy without necessarily living next to the person that they are getting the help from. So Zoom is a wonderful thing. I think COVID taught us that.
Beautiful. Well, tell us, okay, what are we going to do today?
Okay, so this is a pretty simple introductory type of a tool that I use, and it's called the wheel. Okay, I have one drawn for you, Jill, that I will send to you later, but it's this beautiful little circle, and it is divided up into sections that we or you actually get to score for yourself. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And so each one of these sections is kind of a part of your life. I fill in 5 of them, and then you get to fill in the other 3 that might be areas that you want to focus on. That we didn't touch on. And actually, sure. I think there's only 2 on there that you'll have to, come up with. So the first one's a pretty simple one.
Okay.
We talk about your physical wellness.
Okay.
If you want to rate yourself,
okay,
physical wellness.
Okay, go ahead.
0 is like, oh, I am just not healthy at all. I have all of these terrible habits. I don't do anything good for my body. That would be a 0, right? And then 10 would mean you are absolutely 100% happy with your physical fitness, your physical wellness. So like your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your how you take care of yourself physically. Okay. So what would you give yourself for a score? 0 to 10.
I'm like a 6, Carolyne. I think I'm a 6. I used to be a 10, and then I just let that stuff go.
I got you. Hey,
I'm sorry.
You.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize.
No, it makes me feel bad. The things that, I used to, oh gosh, I miss those things. Yes. Okay, go ahead. What else?
Yeah. Okay. So next thing that we're going to look at is your emotional wellness. Like when you think about emotional wellness, you want to think about things that involve your connection to source. If you have a spiritual connection to source, if you have a way of taking care of you as far as your feelings go, like do you write in a journal? Do you speak with someone when you're having a bad day? Like you have that resource. What would you score yourself? Again, if a 0 is like nada, don't even have it in my life. And then 10 is like, you know what? I have so many ways to help myself get through a rough day, or I always have someone I can talk to. I have a definite connection to, a higher being, whether that's God or the universe or whatever. What do you think?
I'm like a 3. I believe in God. I connect with God, but it does not help me on a daily basis because I don't have many output resources to talk to. And me and my kids live alone and
Okay.
I have family, but they're always
Yeah.
busy. And I feel alone a lot. And I don't have that person that I could just
Okay.
vent and stress to. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one is your financial part of your life. Finances are always a interesting topic to speak with someone about. And when you look at your own desires of finances, you could be like really, really awesome, making a great salary, but still feel very irresponsible with money. Like you just don't have a good relationship with money. Or you could be, make just getting by and you have all these goals with money, but you've got a lot of fear involved there. So when you think about your own financial part of your life, this is only for Jill, what would you score yourself?
5.
Okay,
5.
sounds good. I truly appreciate you being so honest.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, one. Let's think about your home. So your home is supposed to be your sanctuary. It is your environment that is meant to be a place of rest and recharge. When you think about your home, this place can either, I noticed that, by the way, you just shook your head.
No, and what about the tears building up my eyes?
Oh, yes. I feel that right now from you. And so many people, Jill, have a disconnect with their home environment because they forget that their home environment really is the place for you to rest and recharge. It is supposed to be our sanctuary. And so on a scale of, 0 to 10, when you think about your home, how would you rate that space for you?
It's a 3. Look, I have a beautiful home. I worked hard. I pay my mortgage, but I have clutter, laundry, stuff everywhere. I can't break free of it. And it gives me this mental angst. And that's why tears come to my eye because all I say to my sister, I said, please, can you watch my kids? I can't work with the kids here and I'm always with the kids. So how do I ever get a break to get away? Because when they're here, I can't work. I can't organize. I can't put stuff away. And so I feel like I'm a hoarder. Like I have one room that's packed with the kids' clothes and stuff. And even though we just donated 30 bags on Thanksgiving Day, I try making baby steps, but then the piles keep building and the stuff they bring home from school and then the toys, it's a disarray and it makes me feel so unorganized and I don't like it. It makes me very upset.
Sure.
Really.
Sure. I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, let's bounce out of that section of Jill's life for a moment and let's look at your relationships. And relationships can mean anything for you. They can mean your relationship with your children. They could be relationships with your friends. They could be intimate relationships. But whatever they mean for you, how would you score yourself in that realm of your life? And I know, like when I did this wheel, it's so funny. Obviously, I've done all these things for myself. I had one, my family, and then I had one for friendships because when I did this wheel, the first time that I did it, I could not believe how separated I had become from my friends.
Yeah.
And so I broke those two up. So, that might be something you want to do. I don't know. But when you score yourself for relationships, would it be, again, closer to that, you know what? I don't even feel like I have any, to I nourish my relationships every single day. I feel very confident in my relationships with my family, my friends, my children. Where do you feel like you're at, Jill?
Like a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, a 5 there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, the next one, and this is the last actual subject that I have for you, and then you get to come up with your own 2. But the last one is intellectual. This one is so interesting because most people are like, you know what? I've already been to school. I don't need to do anything else. And what they forget is part of human nature is to expand our minds and to learn. And you have this beautiful job where you are learning about all types of different things.
Mm-hmm.
However, that might or might not be fulfilling enough to you. And so when you think about your own intellectual skills and what you want for your life, how would you score yourself from a 0 to 10?
I give myself a 10 in that department. I'm happy with that department. I am.
Okay.
That's true. See, no tears. This is a genuine smile.
Awesome. Okay, so we have two other sides or two other little pieces of the pie in our circle of Jill's life. What, when you think about your things that are really important to you,
Mm-hmm.
things that matter the most, what do you think we could add to this circle? And if you'd like, I can read to you the ones that we have so far. So we have emotional wellness,
Mm-hmm.
we have relationships, we have financial, we have your home, your environment, we have intellectual, and then we have physical fitness or physical well-being. Are there two other areas in your life that you would like to include in your Jill's life of your wheel?
Who would I like to include?
Yeah.
Well, I would like, I mean, my children give me the joy and the happiness, but they also give me a lot of stress and duress. And being on my own, it gives me both.
Mm-hmm.
Family wise, I lost my mom, which is an emotional thing 6 years ago. So I don't have her. I always thought I'd have her to help me with the kids and I'd be okay. Have my sister, but she's not present. She's busy and she's not the one I can call or talk to. And I don't really feel like I have the time to even call or talk to anyone by the time I finish work, then get the kids and then do the homework and then the sports. And then there's no time for me. You're lucky I get to take a shower at night before I go to bed. And that's just, I'm very overwhelmed these days. So it's hard for me to even, it's a good person you're talking to here who could benefit from something like this. But no, really. And I lost my train of thought, what I was saying. I'm sorry.
That would definitely be a big piece of your wheel is family. And it sounds like without a doubt, there is this struggle between how much time you have for family, how much time you'd like to have, but then how much time you don't have because of the reality of what you are doing.
The job, the getting them on the bus, the sleeping with them. We still co-sleep. So I'm 24/7 with them. There's no every other weekend. So I feel like I'm about to have a mental breakdown a lot of days, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And then trying to do what I have to do. And then like I had this whole, that's even, I don't care. I'll just say a whole cancer scare going on the past month and a half, back and forth to doctors, hospitals, bone biopsy, biopsy, bone marrow biopsy, and then getting blood work this week. And I'm trying to juggle between the job, between the kids, and then leaving them home in the morning to run to I'm just like, want to cry.
Oh my goodness, Jill.
But then you look at the positive, it's like, it's hard. But
yes, it is. I totally agree. Well, if you were to score yourself.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. It happens sometimes. Go ahead.
That's okay. If you were to give yourself a score for how you feel right now, today, with the stability of your family, well, how would you score how would you score it?
Well, when you say my family, you mean just me and the boys, or like my?
How about you and the boys and your sister? How about all that?
6,
okay.
7, because there's such happy, but there's also so hard. If that even makes sense. I don't know if that's a word. So happy. Okay. Yeah. It's like right in the middle. Yeah.
6.5. Okay. Now you mentioned something that's incredibly important that is not on your wheel, and we are going to put it on your wheel.
Okay.
Time for myself. Time for myself. Self right now, today, in that department, which is so needed for rest and recharge, how would you rate yourself?
5. Everything's like a 5.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. And it's okay. And actually, that's not true. Wait till I show you.
Okay.
So I'm going to put 5. Okay. There we go. So I have finished your wheel.
Thank you.
And this is, oh goodness, I don't know if it's actually going to show up on the camera.
Let me see.
I don't know if you can see it. It looks like, to me, it looks like it's kind of blaring out.
Yeah, it is. Good.
Okay.
I'm going to leave an email copy of that.
Yes, I will send it to you for sure so that you have a copy. But here's what you gave yourself today, December 15th of 2023. For physical wellness, you gave yourself a 6. For family, you gave yourself 6.5.
Okay.
For emotional wellness, you gave yourself a 3. For relationships, you gave yourself a 5.
Okay.
For your financial health, you gave yourself a 5. For your home environment, you gave yourself a 3. For your intellectual side, you gave yourself a 10.
Yeah, I did. Look, you got to look at some of the positives, right?
Yeah. And for time for myself, you gave yourself 5. Scores that you gave yourself today. And what we would do is we would discuss areas that we could really start changing those scores. And for you, Jill, the lowest the two that are lowest is your home environment and your emotional wellness.
Interesting. Yep.
But I do believe all of these areas, because they're just like a little pie, the whole pie, these are all the pieces, and the whole pie is you. So they're all kind of interrelated, right? So I'm going to ask you a question. What is one way that you could get some time by yourself in your home where your children are not there?
Can I be honest with you? I did it last week. I asked for help. I asked for help. I'm gonna cry. And I never asked for help. I asked my son's friend's mother that lives around the block to just take the kids to her house. So I was able to get some decorations down. Like, I'm gonna cry. And it felt so good. Definitely wasn't enough time, but it helped. But I'm not that person to add. Yeah, I did.
So how could you create more of that?
Ask for more help again. Maybe someone else. I really just need them out of my hair is what it is. Honestly, it's not that I don't love my kids. I love them, but I'm drenched in them and I'm drowning and I don't know who I am anymore. And people say that's normal, but it's like, well, what's going to happen when they leave? Then I'm by myself and I'm like, it's not normal. Like I'm it's too much into them. And I don't, like, for example, my nails haven't been done in maybe 6 weeks. Before that, it was 3 months. Everything grew out. They're growing out now. And then like I get judged from my sister who then tells me, oh, you went and got your nails done. And I'm like, did you not see what I look like? I said, I'm like, people start judging. Self-care becomes selfish. And I'm just like, no, it's not. But so I don't have a lot of support people on my team. But now I have Carolyne. Thank you so much for letting me open up to you like this. Thank you.
Of course, Jill, of course. So, okay, obviously as a mother, and also as a teacher, I do know there's quite a few resources out there that we can take advantage of. Is there an after-school program at your son's school?
Funny you just said that. I swear on my mother, I swear on Jesus, God, and I believe, but last night I had to tell my kids, I said, there's an after school program. I can't be doing homework with you as soon as I'm done with work because you guys don't listen, you fight, you cry, and it's another hour of stress for me because you don't want, I said, there's an after school program. And then they started screaming, we're not going to the after school program. I said, well, you should be able to come home and do your work and get it done. And I could help you with it. But and then it's an hour. And then why are you yelling at me, Mom? Because you're not listening. They don't, and it's stressing me out. And I said that. I said it to them yesterday and they're crying. They don't want to go to the after school program, but I think I'm going to have to. There has to be something. I can't physically do it all because they don't want to do homework with me. And then by the time the homework's done, then I got to do dinner quick and then we're running to the sports. It's like, and it's hectic. It's chaotic. Doesn't make them feel good as kids. Mom's yelling and screaming and they're also yelling at me. They don't respect me. They don't want to sit do homework with me. It's not like it was a neutral party. They do so well. The few times there's been a babysitter, everything's, they're so good. They listen. I'm like, not with me. It's that dynamic of mother, parent, whatever it is. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. There is a dynamic there, especially with sons. I will say this, especially with sons, they need to have a balance. Of course, they need to have a balance. And so do you. You deserve the balance, Jill. You deserve the balance in your life. And what I've told several of my clients that are in the exact same position that you are in is that it's okay for you to make an executive decision. And the executive decision is they're going to the after school program. It gives you an extra hour every or two, maybe, depending on how long it is, but it gives you that time to breathe on the way home from work. Maybe even stop and get a little grocery shopping done. Maybe just driving home and sitting on your couch for 10 minutes and taking a nap. Can you imagine?
I would never be able to nap. I'm just not a napper. I don't have that. But the lone time drive, I like that.
Yeah. Time in the car is really very special.
Listening to country music. I love that. Yep.
Yeah, it's a very sacred time for us. And it gives you a chance to process the day. I mean, you have a pretty busy day. I can't even imagine. How many interviews do you do in a day?
13, 15. It all depends. It all depends.
Right. So that's a lot of exposure to different people's energy, having to guide people. I mean, not everyone is easy to talk to as I am. And so you have that pressure to make sure that this interview goes well, everything is spot on. And then the executive side of it, behind the scenes, you have to take care of all of those things. So you've got to give yourself time to process.
Try, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
so it's possible, and we have to, kind of wrap it up. I'm sorry. How does it work? Tell us.
About the wheel is what we do is I will send you your wheel, Jill. You'll have this wheel.
Can you please? Thank you.
100%. And then I want you to put it away for 30 days and then pull it back out. And of course, what I would do as this person's coach is I would also have a copy of it to pull it out and let's look at it again. And then we would discuss what has been happening. What's been happening in the last 2 weeks or 30 days and see where have we changed on this wheel? What action has been taken to further us along in the things that matter to us?
Beautiful.
There you go.
Well, I wish we had more time, but we connect. Are we connecting next week?
Perfect.
Perfect.
I'd be done.
Oh, you just broke up. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, I think that this is my last Zoom session.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, till we meet again, we won't say goodbye. But
that's right. We won't say goodbye. But I hope that listeners could see that it's not as hard as maybe they feel it is.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Remind us of the website one more time.
WildfireDreams.com. Check me out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. To all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.